Welcome in, everyone. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is All in the Charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment, and click that bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live, including atypical Sunday, weekly, 2-weekly candlestick closes here on the YouTubes. Guys, did want to thank everybody who tuned in yesterday evening. I would say, especially as of late, given some of the downturn in the market, I would say I had a pretty decent showing, decent amount of viewers within the past 24 hours. So did want to thank you for making time for me. Hopefully you found yesterday's segment extremely helpful in terms of deciphering where we're at within the cycle and what's going on within the market. We also talked a little bit about market psychology and the importance of having an appropriate sell strategy. So I think for today, I think one of the things I found was that I was so engaged in that live stream and so enthusiastic that it left me with a lot of energy for the rest of the evening. So had a little bit of trouble falling asleep, didn't really get the best sleep last night. So we're going to be going to bed very early this evening. And this is going to be a pretty quick live stream. We're not going to make this one too long. What I'd like to focus on is I'd like to focus on the items that really we didn't get to hit on yesterday. So I'm going to cover a couple altcoin charts. We'll talk about Bitcoin's price action and kind of revisit some of the conversation we had the other day just to kind of level set what we should be watching for here in the shorter term. Todd, good to see you as always. Let's fucking go. Juan, welcome in. Always nice to see you. Always commenting in the comment box. All right, guys, with that being said, let's get into it here. So, in assessing the 12-hour price action here, first off, we need to turn this into green. This shit needs to get updated. Okay, this is the major zone we talked about, right? And as you can see right now, we're re-entering that zone. Now, the key is, and I spoke to this yesterday, we need confirmation. We need confirmation that $68,000 is going to be an area of support. I've been saying this repeatedly. Once we get confirmation that $68,000 is an area of support, that is when I expect a pretty swift rise to the upside. We're going to be at all-time highs quicker than people think, most think. Well, how do we get confirmation of $68,000 holding as an area of support? Well, step number one is we close above it, which we did here yesterday. Had a very nice close. Step number two is the preceding candlestick. That's what's called our confirmation candlestick. In this case, the confirmation candlestick is not holding up. Now, if we close today under $68,000, a couple thoughts for you. First off, let's go back to the 12-hour. First off, we're going to need to kind of restart the process again. We need 2 consecutive candle closes on the daily above $68,000. So we kind of have to restart that process for 2 days. The second thing is, it's not the end of the world, guys. We're still looking bullish as fuck, all right? Just want to make sure. Nothing changed between last night at 8 o'clock and today at 5 o'clock. Nothing has changed. Just want to make sure I'm being very clear on that. However, we keep it stupid simple on this channel. If we don't hold $68,000 as an area of support by the end of the close today, what's the next area? 65.6. And then the beautiful thing is, because we've gotten some significant price action to the upside in the past several days, see this huge rise in price, what has it done to the 12-hour chart? Well, it's caused the 50 simple moving average to curl back up, and it's going to be intersecting this 200 simple moving average, which is also curling up very shortly. But why is that important beyond the golden cross? Well, as you can see, we have a huge area of price confluence at 63.8, the 200 simple moving average, and the 50 simple moving average now that we've closed above those simple moving averages. So this entire range, what I'm trying to say is this entire range is going to provide a major area of support. So if we get a deeper retracement here than I'm anticipating personally, I don't think we're going to go that low. But if we do, we have an entire area of price confluence between 64,540 and approximately 63,000. Okay, if we were to start to close below 63,000, we'd have to revisit the chart. But again, this is the primary area of support that I want to see hold, which goes down to 65.6. I'd really like to see 65.6 hold. If it doesn't, we have a fuck ton of price confluence here, okay? Because we've created this bullish structure, we have a nice uptrend here, higher highs and higher lows. Now we can fall back on the moving averages, which were once resistance. Now we're going to rest on them as support, okay? And we also have that 63.8. So nothing concerning going on in the charts. What we like to do on this channel, or what I attempt to do, is I educate in a way that is very systematic and very objective, based on how the data is emerging and presenting itself on the screen. That's all I'm doing. I'm just interpreting the data for you guys. That's it. And as you can see here, what have we done? What have we done since the bottoming process down here at 53,000? The question is, have we gone up in a straight linear line? The answer is no, we have not. What we've done is created higher highs and higher lows, right? We've had a move up, whoopsies, a move up, whoopsies, a move up. Maybe we come down to here, and I would expect further continued trend action positively, bullishly to the upside, guys. I spelled it all out for you yesterday. I'm certainly not going to regurgitate what I shared yesterday. You can check out the live stream. James, good to see you, my friend. Josh, welcome in. Let's fucking go. Let's check out Ethereum. I saw Credible Crypto's tweet earlier. I wasn't super active on Twitter today, kind of busy, but did see something about him saying that I don't want to misstate what he's saying, but he at least is drawing out a scenario where Ethereum has a much deeper pullback here. Now, that certainly is a possibility, and I forget the area he quoted. I think he quoted something around 2,300. I don't see Ethereum going down to 2,300, and I'm not saying he said 2,300. I forget the level that he said. But it's certainly possible we could see a little bit of a deeper retracement here. The question is, what areas of support will we ultimately like to see hold? Again, we want this strength to be at least maintained within the altcoin market, because eventually, once Bitcoin does push up and have that last gasp in dominance, whenever that occurs, this has been mind-numbingly long within this rising wedge here. We want alts to remain relatively strong, because once Bitcoin does start to pop up and go to that $85,000, $92,000 target like we discussed yesterday, you should see a significant decrease in dominance as the altcoins steal the spotlight. So what should we be looking for on Ethereum? This is on the weekly. Let's just focus on price action to start. It doesn't seem like we can maintain this price level above 33. We're just going to call it 3,400. We really want to get above 3,400 and maintain a price level above there, right? You can see we pushed up here. This was the confirmation weekly, which, much like what's going on Bitcoin on the 12-hour and daily, got negated. So where do we want to see price level hold as support? And again, volatile market, guys. Volatile market. I'm talking about a weekly chart. And I'm talking about where I want price to ultimately close at or above. Doesn't mean we can't wick below it. Okay, that's volatility. As I used to always say, and I don't say it as much, wicks are an expression of volatility. So where I ultimately do not want to see candle body closes below is this green line here. I don't want to see us going back below 2830. Let's just call it 2800. Ideally, we'd hold this level here at 3,000. There's a nice psychological level at 3,000. But this is really the main zone. This is the main zone that I want to see hold on Ethereum. Wow, that is a black box. Let's try that again. I forget what I was doing. This is the main area of support that I want to see hold. Right around, let's just round the numbers and keep it simple, 3,000 to 2,800, okay? If we were to fall below there, I would suspect that the 50 simple moving average, because we're above it on the weekly, that's going to provide an area of support. And if we really got a deeper retrace, the 200 simple moving average, but I'm not anticipating that. If we take a look at the price indicators, again, waiting for this MACD to turn around, you can see the histogram is sort of bipolar. That's what I would describe the histogram. It wants to decrease in momentum, and then we increase the momentum to the downside. Now we want to decrease, increase, decrease. MACD is really just trying to find its bearing. Guys, it's no surprise. It's no secret. Ethereum's consolidation that has been taking place, and it's very evident on the Ethereum BTC relativity chart that we've looked at many times. The price action itself and where it is at is not surprising if you've been following me on this channel. What has been surprising is the length of time. This has been dragging out for a long time. It doesn't mean that prices on Ethereum aren't going to explode to the upside once they start moving. I've been here for years, okay? Unless if something concretely changed, Ethereum will explode in price action again and steal the breath away of the market, and people will say, oh, I thought Ethereum was dead. But right now, it's just trying to find its bearings here on the MACD, okay? On the RSI, we want to get above these key levels around, we'll just call it 58 to 60. We've been increasing on the relative strength index, but we still have work to do at 53. Stochastic RSI looks fine. If we go to the 2-week, let's see what we can decipher on the 2-week chart. I want to take a look at the stochastic RSI. You can see now, again, one of the things that I commonly speak to on this channel is momentum, right? In order for there to truly be a bullish uptrend, okay, an upswing in momentum to the upside, we need momentum. We need bullish momentum. And one of the key things that you can look for momentum is the stochastic RSI. We want to see this positive cross, and we want to see us get above 20. You can see we're pretty far away from that, right? Realistically, we're not going to see a positive cross up above 20 on the stochastic RSI on Ethereum on the 2-week. This is on the 2-week. Realistically, you wouldn't see that until the back half of August, maybe going into September. So we're going to have to give this a little bit of time to develop on the chart here, but that's what we want to see. Relative strength index, we're not going to go through history here, but I can tell you just quickly looking at the chart and what I know looking at other charts. You want to see this relative strength index start to approach 70 and get above it. That's when you see the largest uptrends within most of these charts, including Ethereum. You can see the relative strength index is at 59, so we have some work to do there. MACD is deciding if it wants to definitively cross down. This movement here on the MACD, keep in mind, what we're seeing here, a negative cross down on the 2-week for Ethereum, this is in real time, okay? This is not actually this is how the 2-week candlestick currently looks, okay? But it's not how it's going to print. The way this is going to print and how this is going to look could completely look different 13 days from now. 13 days from now, this will print. Who knows? We could ride this and see a positive cross up. We'll just have to give it 13 days to see how it looks. But again, we're just waiting for momentum to come into Ethereum. Let's take a look at Solana. Solana might have been incorrect in what I said originally, that Ethereum would hit its it would create a new all-time high before Solana. Solana right now is telling me, it has a stronger chart, it's telling me that assertion could be incorrect, and that if Solana has a very good chance of breaking its all-time high prior to Ethereum. There's this general area of resistance right around 190, psychological level of 200 we have to break above. Once we look at this area right here, look at all this price action right here. We couldn't push above around 200 bucks. Okay, a lot of price confluence on Solana at $200. Shouldn't be surprising if you understand psychological price points on charts that we've spent a great deal of time speaking about. In the past year and a half of doing this live stream. Jesus, I've been doing this live stream since March of 2013. Hard to believe. Love doing it. Love doing it. Notice how the emphasis on the YouTube channel has been on the live streams and not so much the published videos. I enjoy doing the published videos, but honestly, I mean, I've shared this with you guys before. My more of my enthusiasm comes out in the live streams. I love interacting with everyone. So yeah, I've been doing this live stream for a while, and I've talked about psychological levels of price confluence on the chart. And so $200 is a psychological level. My inclination is to say, once what you want to look for on Solana, if you're a holder of Solana, you want to see prices definitively push up above $200 and maintain that price level. 220 would be even better. Once that happens, I think new all-time highs are going to be happening in relatively short order, but just got to be patient. We've had this double bottoming formation we've seen on several other charts, including Ethereum. You can see this double bottoming structure right here around 2,800. That's another reason on Ethereum you really don't want to see 2,800 you really don't want to see a candle body close on a weekly below 2,800 because we've created price structure here, right? All the way since back in April. Now, again, the more times you come down to an area, the weaker the confluence becomes. So in this case, we don't even want to entertain getting close to 2,800 because there's a higher likelihood it could break. The other thing I've pointed out to you before, this is a pole and this is a pennant, okay? You can draw this a couple different ways. You could draw it like this, okay? You could draw it like this. And we're consolidating in here. This is a bull pennant, just sharing a valid pattern on the chart and emphasizing to remain patient. Solana, beyond the 200, I mean, I have a couple areas of price confluence here. You can read to the right what they are. We want to see those hold as support. Price indicators are looking better on Solana. Now, I like the stochastic RSI, 93 over 70. We got the RSI at 62, and the MACD looks like we want to get a positive cross if we can continue to see some trend momentum to the upside here. If we go to the 2-week, of course, there's less price data on Solana. What the hell was I talking about back here, guys? What? You know, sometimes I go on these tangents. I start drawing things, and then I leave them on the charts. And then I come back, and then I'm like, what drugs was I on when I was going through this chart? Okay, and you can see there's more momentum in Solana. Look at the higher time frame here on the 2-week. Do you notice anything? Look at the stochastic RSI. While we still have more work to do on this chart and confirm the break to the upside, right now the way that things are looking is that we're getting bullish confirmation on the stochastic RSI on the 2-week, which is extremely bullish, extremely bullish. Keep in mind that when these tokens take off, when your majors take off, and this will be true about Caspa one day once the KRC20 officially kicks off and there's other tokens on that platform, when Solana is doing well, the entire ecosystem is going to pump. When Ethereum is doing well, the entire ecosystem is going to pump. Give you an example of Wojak. Wojak is beta to Ethereum. So in generalities, if we're expecting Ethereum to double in price and shoot up astronomically in value, what do you think it's going to do to the meme coins associated with the Ethereum ecosystem like Pepe or Wojak? Take an educated guess. With on Solana, take an educated guess. Brett on Base, take an educated guess. Same thing will be true about Caspa as well once those once the ecosystem is up for KRC20. MACD is looking good. Yeah, not too much else to say here. Did want to reiterate something. By the way, we spoke about Caspa yesterday, and so you're welcome, Radcore. I implicitly answered that. I spoke about Caspa yesterday, and so we're not going to go into the chart again because I spent a good amount of time. But my friend over here, Tactical Investing, great. By the way, great YouTube channel. Also a hell of a fighter too. He was in Karate Combat. Really nice guy. I've had the chance to speak to him one-on-one. Really, really nice guy. The only reason we haven't done any joint live streams together again since the one time we did it, it's more on my end. I've just been very busy, had a lot of things going on, have had a lot of things going on in my life, and just haven't had the opportunity to make time for it. But certainly going to have him back on the channel. But anyway, he tweeted this out earlier today, and sort of, you know, and I'm even feeling it myself. I mean, we've been bumping up against 19 cents forever. So I want to reiterate what I shared with you yesterday, okay? And if you're invested in Caspa, not that any of you are feeling otherwise, stay patient. And here's why. We have essentially been going sideways and consolidating since November of 2023. Guys, that's like 9 months. We also have outperformed the majority of alts it's actually 8 months. We have also outperformed the majority of alts within the top 50 during that same time frame, noted by the claiming within the market cap ranking on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap. Both items, and not to mention the BTC Sol ETH pairings, are screaming that once you see Caspa at 20 cents, guys, you can come back to me and tell me if I'm wrong, okay? Believe me, I'll be the first to acknowledge it. Once you see Caspa at 20 cents, it's going to run very hard. You're not going to see a small breakup in Caspa. You're not going to see Caspa at, let's see here, where are we at? Caspa is at 19 cents. So once you see that USD value at 20 cents, you're not going to see a little run up to 21 or 22 cents. We're going to be making a massive run up, much, much higher in prices within the coming weeks because it's been consolidating for a long time. It's outperformed the majority of its peers, and it has very strong pairings to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Again, just take it from someone. While I can't express to you certainty on anything, all I can do is take all the wisdom and knowledge and education that I've gained over the years and share it with you. And that's what it's saying to me. So take it for what it's worth, but stay patient. Let's take a look at total. No real updates here. Let's see, total. Let's take a look at the true altcoin market outside of the top 10. So these are all the altcoins outside of the top 10. It's the Gaussian channel on the weekly. Of course, you don't want to fuck around. Once the Gaussian channel turns green, you don't want to fuck around and re-enter the Gaussian channel. So we need to make some headway on this chart. I really need to see the total others get back up here above 261, 262. I don't like us hanging out in this region. I don't like that. So I need to see some push up. And what do I mean by that? What does that actually mean? Well, what that means is that everything outside of the top 10 better start fucking moving, because I don't want to be hanging down at these levels. Everything outside of the top 10 is what contributes to the total others chart. Okay, that's what you're looking at here. So we need momentum to pick up on this thing. There isn't anything overly concerning here. The only thing that has me concerned, I mean, quite honestly, this looks like consolidation to me, without question. You could even see this is, you could even say this is a falling wedge. But regardless, the only reason I have some caution here is because we're right at the top of this Gaussian channel, and you don't want to re-enter this area here. You certainly don't want to get to the midline here. So I want to see that pick up. If we take off the Gaussian channel and we focus on moving averages, yeah, let's get. I mean, this 260 level is a huge area in 270. We're below the 20 simple moving average on the weekly, so we really need to step it up. Let's just focus on the weekly. We don't need to go into the 2 week. We looked at. Let's look at. You know what? Here, I tweeted this out today. As if I haven't hammered home enough on this one. Jesus Christ, down another 5%. So, guys, not to beat a dead drum, but there are some things, 31% to 35%. Okay. So, there are some things that are routinely items I speak to on the channel because I believe they're very important points to drive home for your understanding, right? Again, because what we do is we objectively evaluate the charts, right? I never come out here, never, okay, and tell you what I think you want to hear. I tell you what the chart is telling me as an educated technician, okay? So what I told you point blank and I reevaluated my position and cut my losses. I said once we broke this structure, we were entering something called the no-no zone. I have coined the phrase the no-no zone. What is the no-no zone? The no-no zone is when you're declining in price to a point where you've broken market structure, and when you look left, it's a long period of market structure, and when you look left for price confluence, you're like falling from a tree, and you're like, Christ, I need a tree branch to grab onto to stop my fall. You look left, no one's there to help you. There's no tree branches, there's no hands to help you from falling. You're just fucking falling. And I warned you guys that once we started breaking this level here, I could not tell you, and no one could tell you with certainty or any high level of conviction, that we would fall 5% or 3%, that this would just be a small deviation, or we would just bleed for a while. Well, we're bleeding, and we're down 31 to 35% from this area of price confluence. So at some point, and again, I know there's a lot of news associated with this. It wasn't a black swan event. Let me just say, the news that came out for Casper Labs was not a black swan event. The chart is the chart. I've been saying for a while now, this chart is god-awful. God-awful. Been bleeding against Bitcoin since day one. Any altcoin you pair this thing against, it looks like shit, okay? So at some point, though, and I've been here long enough to see this, okay? So for those of you out there who use a little bit of your capital, like myself, to make trade positions, for me, Casper is setting up for a potential great swing trade play. Why do I say that? I just took a shit on it. I didn't take a shit on it. I just objectively read the chart. It looks like shit. I'm not saying let me just make a clear distinction here. I'm not bullish on this chart, okay? It's horrible. But even with a bearish chart, there could be a swing trade opportunity that you could take advantage of in the short term. So what would I be looking for in a chart like this? And I've seen these things play out plenty of times before. What I would do is I would go, and this is maybe something we can routinely take a look at every week, because I'm considering establishing a trade position. We want to look for bullish divergence on the RSI. So I want to go down to the daily, for instance, and I want to look at this, which it did have it going on, and now it broke it. But we had this nice uptrend on the daily, on the RSI, and we've since plummeted below that. Technically, this is still bullish divergence because prices here were higher than they were here. So what I want to watch for is some strong, because the chart is so bearish, I need it to be convincing to me. Because keep in mind, if you're taking a trade position, there's plenty of other trade opportunities out there, right? There's no reason to pile into this thing. But if there's strong bullish divergence, because this thing has been bleeding so much, let's just say we fall all the way down to 1.45 cents, okay? Let's just say there's no reason that we couldn't. If we fell down to here, what I'm saying is you could take a trade position on bullish divergence if it presented itself, put in whatever stop loss if you want to, depending on your risk tolerance and position size, and you could ride this from here all the way up to this range, because I would anticipate at some point this is going to become so oversold and there will be bullish divergent present, there will be some sort of a strong move up. You'll see this thing up 30-40% in a day, okay? And there's approximately, if we fell to that level, 90 to 70% potential to the upside. So again, as shitty as this chart is, you don't remove it from your list in terms of potential. Again, I would never want to long this thing. It looks horrendous. But would I want to potentially trade it? Absolutely. So something that we'll keep an eye on. I just want to make sure that everyone understands the distinction between shorter-term swing trade opportunities versus longer-term investments, right? There's a huge difference. Other things. Was there anything I missed? Guys, I don't think there's anything I missed. Keep in mind, CBG, speaking in third person now, CBG is going to get a lot of sleep tonight. So I will be much more, a little bit more enthusiastic tomorrow and a little bit more with it. I appreciate your patience if I was a little more monotone on today's live stream. And tomorrow, don't forget, for tomorrow is TA Q&A. So I should be back around the normal time tomorrow. I don't think I have anything going on in the evening. So I'll be back between 5 and 5:30. And I'll take your TA questions. We'll kind of see where the market's at. Until next time, everybody, let's all spread awareness and let's carry the education forward. Take care and thank you for showing up today.